out of hockey around the mid 2010s, the Anaheim Ducks were one of the perennial teams in the Western Conference. Year in and year out, they were one of the biggest threats out there, including many deep playoff runs. And from the early 2000s to around the mid 2010s, they were one of the best teams in the West, including two Stanley Cup Finals appearances in the 2000s, with one of them being a Stanley Cup Final victory in the way worse looking web foot logo jerseys, which were way worse looking than the Mighty Ducks look that they finally brought back, thank goodness. But it's unfortunate that they had to win in those and not the Mighty Ducks unis. But when I came back to hockey a few years ago, the Anaheim Ducks sucked. They were one of the worst teams in the entire National Hockey League, and they were deep in a rebuild that finally seemed to get true footing over the last two seasons. This year was the end of their 7-year playoff drought, as in 2018-19 they were 80 points, sixth in the West. 1920 in the COVID year, they were sixth in the, excuse me, not sixth in the West, sixth in the Pacific, sixth in the Pacific in 1819 and 1920. Then they had 3 out of 4 years where they were last in the Pacific Division, and the only year they weren't last, they were seventh. And then last year, they finally had their first 80-point season in the 2020s. And then this year, they have their best season since 2017-18. They get 93 points. They win their first playoff series in a long time, get a win over the Oilers until they lose in 6 to the eventual Western Conference champion Vegas Golden Knights. It was a very successful season for the Ducks. They had an elite young core of guys like Leo Carlsson, Cutter Gauthier, Beckett Seneke, Jackson Lacombe, Mason McTavish, Lucas Dostal and net. There are many guys that I didn't even name that are very big contributors to the Anaheim Ducks. But in the offseason this year, they had a lot of decisions to make. They had a ton of cap space to their availability, but they also had a bunch of guys that they needed to resign, which made them make some very important decisions. To the looming free agency decision from their trio of Jackson Lacombe, Leo Carlsson, and Cutter Gauthier, the Ducks decided to get rid of a good amount of their talent with guys like Mason McTavish, like John Carlson, like Olin Zellweger, like Jacob Trouba, like Radko Gudas, being let go or being traded or just their rights not being taken on. The Ducks were getting a bunch of cap room open for this year, and the Ducks learned very quickly why you should pay your young guys right away. One of the best young cores in the entire National Hockey League currently is with the Montreal Canadiens. They have a young talent, just they have riches beyond their wildest dream. And a major part of the reason why they're going to be able to keep almost all of those young guys is they're extending them, like guys like Lane Hudson, like guys like Ivan Demidov, right away, like immediately. Both of them being under $10 million a year is a complete steal for Montreal, and they're making away like bandits. Anaheim decided, yeah, we're not going to negotiate with you during the year, Leo Carlsson or Cutter or Jackson. We're going to wait till the end of the year when the market's open. What could possibly go wrong? It's not like your prices on the open market will increase tenfold. Well, the first deal they made was they got a bid out in front and they signed Lacombe to a 5x9, which is a bit of an overpay, but it's not completely horrible. Like, I don't think it's good. Like, I definitely think it is an overpay, but compared to what I'm about to say, it's child's work. Because of how RFAs work in the National Hockey League, for those who are not in the know, any team has at least 1 week to respond to the other team's RFA signing. And the Philadelphia Flyers decided, let's just completely screw with the Ducks again. These two teams have been in kind of like a dick measuring contest over the last few years. For whatever reason, out of nowhere, Anaheim and Philadelphia has turned into a marquee rivalry in hockey. Why? Who knows? But it's hilarious how these two teams just seem to draw beef to each other. And the Flyers decided, let's give Leo Carlsson a 5x18. Now, Leo Carlsson is a phenomenal hockey player, one of the best young players in the entire league. He can do it all on offense. He's a strong defensive player, great on the power play, a good power play captain as a center. He's going to be one of the best one centers in the entire National Hockey League in a few years. But the Flyers completely screwed Anaheim by giving him a 5x18. Because then either Anaheim was going to have to let him go and get what would be 4 late first round picks, which none of them would turn into the number one center that they would want it to be, or they have to sign Leo Carlsson to this contract and completely screw their cap situation for the next half decade. And Anaheim, because their GM, Pat Verbeek, decided to say to the media, I will accept any offer that is sheeted by another team. Oh, okay. Well, Danny Briere decided, fine, I'll take you up on that offer. And give Verbeek his credit. At least he stuck to his word. He did re-sign Carlsson. Now, if he was, smart, then he would have paid Carlsson the $11 million he would have won it during this year, would have had $7 extra million to pay Cutter Gauthier, and wouldn't be in the mess he's currently in. But yeah, instead we're here. The Ducks now have less than $10 million in cap space, and they still have to sign Cutter Gauthier. And guess what, guys? Cutter Gauthier ain't signing for anything under $10 million. I don't know if he's going to sign for anything under $12 million. Cutter is going to get paid. He had the same amount of points as Leo last year. He is a firecracker goal scorer. He is a strong wing that's going to be one of the best wings in the NHL for a long time. Anaheim's going to probably have to pay him, but they're either going to have to go one of two routes with this. Because now their rebuild is in complete and utter trouble. They may be able to save it. They might. That's why it says in this video it's potentially. Because who knows? If they make every decision perfectly, and in the NHL where once you get to the playoffs, anything is truly possible, maybe they can go on a run. But now you either have to spend all this money on Gauthier, get rid of more of your veteran depth, and have to offload it because that's how you're going to have to pay Gauthier, or you're going to have to offload one veteran, pay Gauthier whatever that veteran is worth and whatever cap space you have left, and then not be able to sign guys like Roger McQueen, like all these young and up and coming guys like Beckett, Seneke, who in a few years are going to have to get contracts of their own. Yes, the NHL salary cap is going to continue to rise, and there are going to be guys for Anaheim who do get off the books over these next few years. But we're never really going to see an Anaheim Ducks team over this next half decade at least that has strong depth, because they're either going to have to be paying it for all of their top heavy guys, or they're going to have to give pretty much, Leo Carlson no real running mates and just let Cutter Gauthier walk, and they don't get anything for his RFA rights since he was traded to them from Philadelphia. So the Ducks have really, really screwed what has been one of the better crafted rebuilds that I've seen since I've come back into watching hockey in a span of 5 weeks. Like, if that, it's like that in sports. That's how crazy it is. Just as quickly as a championship contender can be crafted, a potential team of the future can be either halted or completely fall apart. Now, it's really, really interesting where Anaheim goes from this in this next few weeks. It's very telling what's going to happen with Gauthier, because that is a Pandora's box within its own. And I will give Danny Briere credit for the fact that he's making the Ducks make an extremely tough decision. I would not want to be in Anaheim's front office right now. Then again, if I were in Anaheim's front office, I should probably be fired right now, but I'd cross that bridge when I get there. But the other interesting thing about this Leo Carlson contract, just going on to a little 2-minute tangent before I end this video off, is, does this move really impact the Flyers in a positive way either? Because after this offseason, now if you're Philadelphia, you still don't have a number one center. You still don't have a number one defenseman. Sure, there was no true guy that you could go out there and get that could fill those holes. And I respect the fact that they tried to go get Leo Carlson and they don't really care about the unwritten rules. I like that. I think that the unwritten RFA rule in the NHL is dumb. However, unfortunately, there are GMs in the NHL who don't think like that, and there might be people who are now either headhunting Philadelphia or teams who are probably going to be looking at some RFAs that the Flyers may have in the future. Interesting little viewpoint there for Philadelphia. Also, the fact that they, like I said, they didn't really fill any holes that they needed, but who knows? They're on a rebuild of their own. They probably are looking at this current situation like, we don't want to do that. We want to be like more Montreal-like, and that's very fair enough, but we'll see how that goes for them. We'll see what happens in the next few years for the Ducks. I am really, really interested to see what they're going to do, not only over the next few weeks, but what they're going to do in late September, early October, see how they play at the start of the year. They're one of the teams that I am most interested to watch this year to see how they play. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think the Ducks rebuild is in trouble? Do you think that this is just a minor step back, or is this something that's going to completely set them back for the next half decade to decade and might be something that they cannot come back from? Let me know what you guys think. Have a great rest of your night. God bless y'all.